Patrick, great to get a chance to talk to you, man. The big event is coming. How
It
many
is.
years are we talking here?
This is the 13th annual.
Wow. I went to the first one. In fact, I went to the first five because if I remember correctly, they're all up in Markham and then they started moving things around.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, the first one, uh, the award itself was sort of like a wooden horseshoe. Not horseshoe, cowboy boot.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And Gordon Lightfoot was the first Lifetime Achievement Award to be honored, I do believe, too.
You know what? You might be showing me up, Rudy. I wasn't at the first one, and I'm embarrassed to say because Gordon was a client of mine, and I wouldn't say I was a friend of Gordon's, but I was friendly with him. But I wasn't present for that, so you're showing me up.
I'm not trying to do that at all. I think I'm just trying to show the growth of this event. And the fact that you are in the position that you're in, how does it feel, man? To be, if I can call you boss man, and being part of something that has grown so much in lucky 13 years.
Well, I feel privileged. I feel it's also kind of bizarre because when I joined the association I didn't join until 2017.
Mhm.
I and I did so reluctantly. I, and in fact, within a couple of years of being on the board, when we get together as the board to elect the executive, that one particular year, I said, I don't want to be on the executive. So anybody who has any ideas about putting me into that position or nominating me, I don't want to go there. So that was what I called the Steve Cassé era. Steve was the president at the time, and I think
Yep.
he was maybe a bit put off that I didn't want to do that. But I was trying to gauge the level of commitment that I could make to the organization, so you know, going from that, not even wanting to be reluctantly joining the board, not wanting to be on the executive, to becoming the chair, it's kind of bizarre, but it feels comfortable. I think you go into these roles when you feel comfortable in the role, and so I know that leading up to this point, when we knew that Steve was going to step aside, it was proposed to me that I might take his place, and I think my initial response was, "You've got to be kidding me."
I love it, man. You know what? Congratulations,
Well,
first
thank you,
off.
thank you,
And second thing, too, is like I said, man, the growth has been amazing. I want to get your comments on what do you think about this? The thing I love about with this award show and event and what goes on with the festival itself is the fact that you almost forget. I mean, we talk about so many great Canadian country artists. But we forget that Ontario has its own greatness as well, and this is the great way of presenting that.
sure, yeah. Well, I think people think of country music as being a more like a Western thing,
Yeah.
probably dating back to when we used to refer to country music as country and Western. And it's funny because if I run into people who are not really country fans, they still think that it's referred to as country and Western, which is quaint. But we think of the West, Alberta, where there absolutely is a very healthy country music scene. And I've been involved, I have a lot of clients in the West, but there's more people in Ontario. And so I think it just stands to reason that because of the sheer number of people there are in this province, there's going to be there's a large rural population, so we're going to have a lot of country music fans in Ontario. And I think if you just look at the charts, it tells the story that there's a lot of the country music. I don't want to say elite because the term doesn't really go with country music, but you know what I mean? Like there's just a lot of people here that are great writers, are musicians. Like if you're looking for anybody, they're probably from here. And no offense intended towards my friends in the West, you know?
None whatsoever, because one of the things I've said about whether we talk about Ontario or we talk about Alberta or wherever, BC, country music, Canadian country music has always been this bubble. I feel like that's ready to burst because every time I see a new artist, they are so damn good. I was at the MDM Spring Fling and
Sure.
got a chance to see three artists perform. And I'm just going, oh my God, what is it about just going with the whole and why we have so many? I mean, not knocking any of the genres, but I swear, I feel like every time I'm introduced to a new Canadian country artist, they're not just good, they're freaking amazing.
Yeah, well, we're we're extremely fortunate to have that situation. I agree with you. Obviously, um, and I'm coming from a place where I didn't initially like country music at all. I was involved in other genres, um, and I kind of came to country in a roundabout way. But what I really liked about it was this sense that there's a family.
Yeah.
It's a family oriented kind of thing. It's a community oriented thing. The songs, the topics of songs tend to be about having a community and fostering a community, encouraging a community, and that part I really liked. And it wasn't so factional like some of the other genres were. Um, but it's and it's not just true of country music. I would say it's true in other genres that if you're really a fan of music and you keep your ears open and you go to shows, you go to events,
Yeah.
and not just because you're invited to, and not just because you're on the guest list, but you just become a fan. You discover these artists that you just think. I mean, for me, I come home sometimes thinking, how did I not know about this person?
Yeah.
How did I? How I'm involved in the industry, so I think the secret there is just keeping your ears open and being open-minded.
Yeah, no, absolutely agree with it. Let's get to Hamilton. What's going to
Okay.
be happening on the weekend? Because I know the day before the awards, there's a lot of conferences. And the reason why I know that is because I'm actually hosting one of those. I'm going to be a
Yes, you
moderator. So talk a
are.
little bit about what's happening the day before
Nice
the
plug for
awards.
yourself. You got to blow your own horn. Um, well, there's the fun and games actually starts technically on the Thursday night before. There's an affiliated event, a sort of a songwriters thing, hosted by our friend Dave Woods. Um, that's an affiliated event. It's not an official CMA Ontario event, but it's arm's length. And then on the Friday night, we have a songs and stories and a sort of kickoff party, another songwriter event, and an open mic, which is something we're doing for the first time. Uh, we've never done that before.
Love it.
So, and that's a response to our members suggesting to us that they would like to see more opportunities to perform, whether they're known, unknown, established, not established, brand new, whatever. And so we feel that everybody should have a chance. So that's the Thursday night, the Friday night, then the Saturday. There's conferences plus the bonfire concert, which is kind of a showcase thing, and then an open mic after that. Then Sunday more conference because there's a big educational component to what we do. That's part of our mandate is to educate.
Yes.
And to make sure that the educational component is relevant and not just like, oh, here's a bunch of seminars to go to, and regurgitating the same thing all the time. One of the things that we've introduced in recent years, I can't take credit for it. It's under the Steve Cassay era or the Steve Cassay reign. We started having a town hall um, so that we can respond directly and openly and transparently to our membership. They can bring concerns, criticism, there's a lot of it, um, or compliments. And so we address these things at the town hall, and trying to gauge like what level of education do members seem to want? Are they professionals who just need extra professional, extracurricular sort of education, or are they brand new and they really don't know anything about how to write a song, pitch a song, get a publishing deal, deal with the legalities? So the theme. I mean, there's various themes. It's not all the same thing, but establishing a brand and this issue of publishing. How does publishing work? That's part of our educational component in the conferences this year.
There's also like a mentor cafe kind of thing going on too,
Yeah,
if
there
I'm
is.
true. Yeah, and the reason why I know that is because I'm going to be part of that too on Sunday.
Good plug. Plug number two. Well, we have in the past had what we call the round table, where it's basically just a room full of everybody that you need to know in the industry, from broadcasting, publishing, producing, graphic design, video production, legal, everything. And that's always been successful. But because we don't like to do the same thing every year, um, so this year it's the Mentors Cafe, which is, if anybody doesn't know what Mentors Cafe is, it's an opportunity to have a one-on-one with a mentor. And ideally, these people, like yourself, will be 100% honest and forthright and transparent about how it works, how your field of expertise works. And I would also like to say for anybody that hears this, it's not just the mentors that are officially part of the Mentor Cafe. Our board is made up of industry professionals from a variety of disciplines. And throughout the weekend, we are all available. We're approachable. Well, some of us more than others. Uh, I'd like to think I'm very approachable. Anybody can come up to any one of us and ask us a question. How things work? How do they become eligible for a showcase? How can they get a showcase opportunity? How do we determine who's on the show? Whatever they want to know, or whatever they want to know that's not even specific to CMA Ontario, but to our individual fields of discipline, they can come up and ask us anytime, any question. The whole
Yeah, it's
idea
gonna
is to
be.
be open and friendly and transparent and
I'm looking
engaged.
forward to it. I'm really looking forward to that. But I'm also looking forward to what happens later on in the evening, the big award show. Where's it happening? What are we going to experience on this, man?
Well, it's at the music hall. For those that aren't familiar with the music hall, it's been a sort of popular venue as of late. The Juno Awards have used the music hall. CCMAs have used the music hall. It's a former church. It's got a great ambience. It's one of those places that when we go scouting locations, um, we just walk into this place and it's just there's just a vibe there. It's just sort of like, oh my God, this is well, pardon the pun, oh my God, in a church. But like where else would we do it but here? Because there has to be a vibe to the show. So yeah, that's happening on the Sunday evening. That's sort of the big finale of the weekend. Um, Tickets are going fast. If anybody
Yeah.
doesn't have tickets yet, they should get them because we are close to capacity now, I believe, which is good. That's really encouraging. That indicates to us that there is a level of interest in this show, and we try to make the show interesting every year. It's one of those things where we want it to be uh, a thing where you have to be there. It's not going to be televised. We don't video it, so to be a part of that event and to see what happened, you have to be there. And so there's always a little bit of a surprise that we throw
Yeah.
into the show. I can't say anything about what this year's surprise is, but it's a big one. Um, and it's a fast-paced show. We have a limited amount of time. We understand that people might have a limited amount of attention or patience. It's a little bit of everything. I'm sort of proud to say this year that it's a very independent show. We're not relying a lot on big names or major artists. Increasingly, we're finding that our show becomes more and more of an independent sort of showcase or an independent awards.
Yeah.
And that's a testament to going back to what we were talking about earlier, the level of talent in the province, the sheer volume of it. Um, it'll be on display on Sunday night, and we always try to make it an interesting show. And again, there's a little bit of everything. Um, it's going to be great, I'm sure.
Who's the host?
The host will be Jason McCoy, and this will be Jason's last year hosting.
What?
Yeah.
No, no, no. He's always been a great host.
Well, he always has been. I think Jason wants to go out before it gets stale. Um, and so
Oh,
that, I mean, we're disappointed because he's always been the host, and occasionally with co-hosts. Um, I can't say at this point what direction we're going with new hosts. Hopefully, well, I'm pretty sure it'll be somebody who has as much personality as Jason does. He's really a part of the family, and for me, I mean, it really is. It sounds cliche to say, "Oh, we're part of the family," but at the end of more than one awards show, Jason has actually taken me aside and congratulated me on the job that we do putting this event together.
yeah.
Um, that it's, we take it very seriously, but we have a lot of fun with it at the same time. It's a couple of hours, or maybe if it goes long, 2.5 hours of a lot happening. It's very fast paced, and suddenly it's over. Um, and then you're welcome to come to the after party.
There you go.
There's a menu.
Here's the one thing I want to let people know in Hamilton what they're going to have for those next 4 days. You could be at a Tim Hortons. You can be standing over at the corner. You can be anywhere. And I guarantee you, you're going to be bumping into one of the best country artists anywhere around representing Ontario because they're going to be everywhere.
Oh
So
yeah.
make sure your phones are full to get pictures and autographs and stuff because they're going to be everywhere. That's the other thing I love about this.
Well, that again, I think that's just a testament to the community spirit that we have. That these artists are approachable. Um, Otherwise, they wouldn't be going to Tim Hortons to get a coffee. I think some of them kind of hope that they will run into people because it's in the country field that you find, after a show, an artist will come out, go to the merch table, or just come out from backstage and stand there and talk to the fans and sign autographs for as long as it takes until every person who has waited there to see them has gotten what they wanted and goes home satisfied. And that's part of this industry, I think. I'm happy
That's
part of that.
That's a fact. Thank you so much for doing this interview with me. I will see you up there in Hamilton. Looking forward to it. Like I said, I will be there moderating on Saturday morning, and then Sunday morning I'm at the cafe moderator, whatever. You know, I was talking about people.
Mentor
Anyway,
Cafe, yeah.
Mentor
Yeah.
Cafe. I'm going to be there for
Appreciate it.
that.
Really appreciate it that people like yourself do participate. And this is a testament to the caliber of people that we have come out and help us out to help the artists.
Cannot wait, my friend. Thank you so much for the interview and looking forward
Okay.
to the big weekend.
Thanks, Rudy. See ya.